of us talking about them.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. How's everyone tonight? Happy Wednesday, middle of the week. Happy Hump Day.
How's everyone tonight?
Oh, that was an echo.
Yeah, I was just because I was. No, I was just sharing it. That's all I did.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead and introduce yourself. We've got a comment already, but if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and say a little bit about what you do. Hey, Lauren.
Well, first of all, I'm a psychic medium from San Antonio. Uh, Also have the abilities clairvoyant, remote viewing, very in tune with my native heritage, have all the clairs, the abilities to channel. I'm also been channeling, so I've been doing a lot of that. Also remote view, see auras. But I also do the thing I love to do, like outside of readings and shows, I do help a community. So I like help law enforcement, find missing cases, homicide cases. I also do walkthroughs on live. If I can do it physically, I'll be there. If not, everything has to be on the internet. But I do that kind of work too. So that's something that I love, that I've always loved to do. So it's like a challenge for me, to do those kind of things. So it's always something different for me. You just never know. To be honest, you just never really know. But I'm glad to be on, Rosie. I haven't talked to you in like, oh my God, it's been too long. But I'm glad that all you guys are here. Um, and hi, Don. I know we didn't talk, uh, but it's been a long time, um, doing things. And I think with what I was telling you earlier, um, also, I don't know if it depends if anybody wants a question. I'll do it maybe one or two cards depending on what I'm being pulled to. Um, Also, I'm getting in tune with the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot deck. That is the front of it. Um, these are very, I guess you could say, I mean, all tarot decks are good, Oracle decks are good, but since I've been working with this, I feel like these deck of cards to me is part of my past, which I'm not even going there either. But I feel like connecting with my other ancestors from a different lifetime. Um, they have really helped me connect it. And that's another thing, Rosie. This is what I was going to show you. I can't do it now because I would have to rotate the camera, and I can't do that. But this is what started that deck. I had this deck for uh, maybe about 3 years, but I never mentioned it to any of you guys. But before it reminded me that the deck was there because it was always in the dresser, and I never touched it. Maybe like twice, and I said, well, if I was meant to use it, it's there. If not, give it to somebody. But it never happened, so it just started calling to me. But what called it to me was this. This is what you call a divination mat. See how it's got all the words: create, ancestor, spirit, burden, heal, lesson, pass, and it's got. And then what this does is different from tarot. You don't ever touch the tarot with this. you use charms, and it's like kind of like bone divination. So that goes back into voodoo and how they do readings. So I can't really show you everything, but these are just charms. So what I would do normally if I do the reading, I would lay it flat, which I don't have a table here in front of me. And what I'll do is like any other reading, instead of touching cards or whatever, what I would do is just lay it flat. And first, before I get the session, I always do a cleansing, but no one ever sees that, or a prayer before I do any session, whatever, right? For highest protection of whatever they have around them, or if I have something around them to give it to them, I just protect myself in all different ways, all of the four corners. Also, what I'll do is just like get like whatever I'm guided to. So I get like the bag, pour it in my hands, and then I say, "Tell me when to stop." Then when I grab them, I just go close my eyes, and they just tell me where to put them or scatter them. And then they land on the certain words. The reading is kind of very detailed. It's more of symbolism. I think it's a little bit like kind of like tarot, but I think it's more of I can't say, but it's kind of like I forgot that word. I can't think of it right now. But there's a starts with a O. It goes back to what people, if they can't afford things, they would throw like a cat bone or a possum or bone, or just
Chicken
whatever they can find in
bones,
nature.
chicken wings.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's weird that you say that because that's what I got very in tune with, and I actually do like it because it's something, it's different. It's something that I've never um, encountered. Hi, Jeremy. But yeah, it's kind of something different. So I think that's what got it to for me to to remind me of follow your roots, follow your family heritage of what you remember the past. And then when that happened, I did maybe I want to say four readings off that mat, and then from there, I just went one day, Rosie. I said, you know what? I'm gonna go through my dresser. So I go through my dresser, and there's my cloth, and I thought, what's in the cloth? Because I completely forgot. I took the cards out, and I said, wow, these cards are standing up to me. So after I took them out, I said, you know what? Let me get familiar with them. I started talking to them, and I said, whatever you're calling me, just let me know why I'm taking them out. Why are you calling to me? Um, and then like I got a reading with the ancestors, and they said we're here for you and all this other stuff. So it was kind of interesting. And I even have another kit too, but I don't share this one because I haven't done this kind of reading. But it's got like bones in it, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
But that one I haven't done the reading on it, but it's probably like the same thing. But I'm just going to more of the antique charms. Like this one got a few pentagrams in it, um, leaves in it. It's got like the wheel, the spider web, everything symbolic. But other than that, that's what I've been doing for the past, I say about maybe 3 weeks, maybe about a month or so. And I've been just connecting. And to be honest with you, Rosie, like I was telling you when you were talking, I feel that with me, it's kind of like I feel like I have this memory coming back to me when I do all this. So when I do it, it gives me more appreciation of, all the stuff that I went through in the past. I let go of it. Um, and I just moved on, and I said, you know what? Karma's going to deal with whatever. Don't worry about it. And I just moved on. And it's been very sensitive with certain readings because I do a lot more behind the scenes, like more on Messenger. A lot of people don't really see me on on Facebook. It's very rare that you can see me on Facebook unless if you're my friend and you message me and you say like, "How are you doing?" This and that. And another thing I've noticed is that a lot of people that I really didn't talk to um, unfriended me, which didn't matter to me because it was more space. And I thought, you know what, maybe they're just trying to gain something from me. So I just let it go. And now I feel a lot better. I'm back to myself again. Very energetic.
And your queen
But
energy, you got your queen
oh
spirit. You
yes,
got your queen
yes,
energy going on.
yes, yes, and I'm drawn to her. But we can't say too much about that. But you, that just gives you gives you an idea of where I'm going, who I'm connected to, who I talk to, and I can say that it's very good energy. I don't see it as anything, and I think of course people who they're gonna think it's bad, but for anyone that's watching, it's all the intent. It's not the cards. It's not the candles. It's not the bone. The like you said, the bones. It's all the intent. If you're going to be a good, what I would call root worker, you're going to do divination, but you're going to do it old school. Um, Not to disrespect the tarot, because the tarot has always been very, very good with me. But but what's funny that you said Queen energy. Uh, I love her to death. I ain't gonna lie. If you know who I'm talking about. Uh, and she's opened me up and just say, you know what, I got your back. You're here to help and enjoy what you do. Don't let it be like, don't let others get the best of you and just move forward. Don't move backward and just keep on trucking. Just don't even worry about them. If they want to entertain themselves because they watch you, that's their choice. That's all up to them. But I've learned a lot just to let old patterns go and just, and I don't know if you can see the difference in me, Rose. I'm like, I'm different now because I remember when I was always on you, like on the shows with you, I was always very serious. I
Hmm.
still had a sense of humor, but at that time when we were doing the shows, beneath all that energy, I was kind of like very sad, very quiet. Hi, Diane. Very quiet. Um, I was really more in the shell. Um, but I told everybody that I took time off, and that's nothing wrong with that because it's always good to get that time off and to reflect and gather everything you've learned, and then you're like, okay, well, and this is done. Don't
Anymore.
worry about it, and just move forward. That's the best thing you can do. Move forward. I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't know. I just don't let you know anybody take what I love to take it away from me. I just don't do it.
Hey, Mort.
And and for everyone that didn't know, uh, I've known Rosie for, oh man, I can't even tell you.
Probably like a couple years.
Yeah, I've done readings for Rosie behind the scenes. Dawn, I don't. At first, I didn't remember her a long time ago, and then she came back to me and she told me
Burn. Haha, no, I'm just kidding.
she said, "Well, you changed
You
my
read
life.
it,
Yeah, I read her and I opened her up, and then after done that, she went around her path. I've heard a lot of stories about Dawn, what she's been through, and we all go through different cycles in our life. But I guess that's just part of life of being spiritual. I mean, not everyone's gonna agree. Uh, you have jealousy among your peers or you think are your friends. Um, but once you see that support system, you start making your circle smaller, which I have made my circle very, very small.
yeah,
Yeah.
me
Um,
very small.
I mean, because my circle, I ain't gonna lie, was very, very big,
Oh, thank you.
but now it's kind of just been more just like here, talk person here, here, and if they message me on Messenger, I'll talk to them. But as far as like on lives, I'm even surprised that I did those two lives the other 2 nights because I haven't been on Facebook very much. I've been kind of just
I saw you on
hiding.
night and the night before that. Yep.
I was kind of like, oh my god, I'm actually can't believe I'm on here. It actually,
Get it
to be
back
honest
in the
with you,
saddle. You got to get back in
yeah,
that saddle.
yeah, and I did. I felt good to come back, but to be honest with you, Rosie, it did feel good to get back on the saddle. But the only thing that I felt different was I don't know. It's just my state of mind, how it works. It's just like you appreciate things more. And if say if you get maybe like two people watching, eight people
Yeah.
watching, before it used to matter like oh like there's like 10 people watching. Now it's like I'm not even worried about it. At first there was times where I did focus on that, but then I kind of said, you know what, stand back, Chris, observe, don't worry about the how many people are watching you. If they would choose to watch you, Spirit's gonna guide them to watch you. People are gonna come in circles that are gonna watch you. And if Spirit calls them and they're meant to watch the show, then they're gonna watch it. If not, then there's nothing you can do about that. It's just maybe it wasn't their time to interact with you or meet with you. And that's the same thing for you and Don. Don't worry about how many people watch you, how many people view you, because at the end of the tunnel, we all got to get back in the saddle, and a lot of our smiley faces underneath our smiles is a lot of pain.
Yeah.
But you got to know how to avoid that pain and just let it go.
And Chris, I've
Um,
gone into your lives and I've helped you at times. A few of
hmm
them back in the day, but I have not done. I mean, Rosie and I used to read cards on Sunday, do card readings and stuff, but I haven't done it for so long. I mean, there are some people I pick up on, and some people I don't.
yeah, but you know what I feel is that I feel that this is one thing I'm going to tell you. I feel that you say that you can't pick up on them, but I'm going to tell you a little something. I feel that you can pick up on them. It's just that there is something that either is on their end, on their end, that's kind of just
Hey, Debbie.
not, not letting them like get you connected to them, and that's sometimes there could be blockages, or you feel like there's um. Oh, I was very young. I was at the age of 5 when I knew I was gifted. But outside of that, I feel like you can read them, but you just have to. This is what I'm going to tell you. Don't limit yourself. Now, along with that, if anyone tells you no, that's not right, don't whatever Spirit's going to tell you, regardless if they agree or disagree or it doesn't resonate with them at the time, you tell them, and don't ever, I mean, seriously, ever doubt yourself, because that's something that when I first started, that was always my thing too. I was like, you know what? I could read people, and then there was others that I couldn't read. But I changed my mindset and I said, you know what? Just like I can have my highest potential, if I can read that person and that person and that person, I can read you too. Even your deepest secrets. You might not want me to tell you secrets or call you out, but if Spirit is going to do that, that has nothing to do with me. That's between Spirit and you. And some people don't want to hear the truth. And that's, I've always said it, like I'm going to say it again. If you do not want to know, I don't care if it's coming to me, coming to Rosie or Don or whoever is really good at the readings. My thing is, if you're not ready to hear it, then don't ask. It's the best thing I can give you.
Someone has a question for you also.
Well, when I was gifted, I was very young. Um, I guess you could say I learned it like when I was about 5. Um, I started helping people like in my teens, so that's when I started really doing things with people. and helping them out and stuff like that. So that's how I knew about my gift, Lauren. But that's just something that you learn is that if you acknowledge your gift and just be aware of it and don't waste your gift, because if God gave you that gift, God gave you that gift for a reason. So just to let you know, if there's something that is telling you that not to use that gift, or if something says don't be in tune, don't just ignore those voices, because it could be something negative that's trying to get in your way. So just don't let anything get the best of you. And that's the best thing I can give you. So for Dawn, now that I mentioned that to you, how do you feel about, you say that you can read people and there's others you can't? Is that more of fear based, or is there something that that you feel that you can't read them, so you can't get through because you're telling you're incorrect?
I have I
What is
have
it?
I have self-esteem issues.
Well, that's where you need to change.
Yeah, it's something that I've gone through my whole life. I know I'm my own worst enemy, and I'm the one that's holding me back.
Yeah, well, I feel that with you, even though I don't know too much about you, but I know enough that you have the potential. And I understand the self esteem issue, because there's times where I feel like I have it, because there's times where no matter who I'm reading, I don't have to know them. It's just how people I connect with. And then when I connect with them, they're like, "How did you know that?" And I'm like, "That's my highest. That's my at my highest frequency." So if anybody tells you that you can't read it, you can't read them, and they bring you down, or if they tell you, um, I feel that if you can kind of like block that and remove that thought, you're gonna be able to read anyone. And what's gonna really, between all that, I think that's what's gonna scare you when you get the accuracy, when you get the validations, when they say, "Oh shit, oh Don, you said this, and how did you know that so and so was cheating on me, or how did you know that that person was evil?" And you just tell them, "I went upstairs,"
I'm getting
and then
better,
what?
How did you
but
know Chris got a bag of bones? No.
Yeah, I got a bag of bones, and you know what's funny? This is what I say. It's weird that you say that. To me, I feel, and this is something that I always, and I'm not saying that tarot's not good, but I think with bones, um, or any type of bones, or I don't care if it's a deer bone, I don't care if it's just whatever bones you use, because a lot of people I've seen and I've looked up things
Oh.
that you that I've seen more pattern that they usually use coyote bone for some odd reason, but this is why I think people use coyote bones, and my theory. The bones of the coyote to me are the tricksters. Okay, they're of that's what, and these cards are usually with the medicine cards. They're usually known as the tricksters of coyotes, but and Native American coyotes are wise and
Yeah, that's
very
my
and
belief.
very wisdom, and they're also very native to Native Indians.
And they're very
So
smart at like surviving out in the
yeah,
nature and
so
stuff.
that makes sense why they use coyote bones, because the coyote bones, if the cards are not going to tell you, or something that the cards might miss, when you use divination, or I don't care what kind of bones you use, I don't care if that person is deceiving you or that person's trying to hurt you.
Anthony.
I think the old school bones, it's going to tell you everything about that person. If it lands this way, this way. However, if you have a mat, whatever, it doesn't matter. So yes, I can read bones. That's a part of my past, Anthony. Something that I'm connecting to. And it's funny that Rosie said, "Wow, he's using bones now." But
Well, you
yeah,
might as
it's
well. They're a
something.
part of life. Everything that's alive that has, skeleton has bones, and when it passes away, the bones are still left there
Yeah, but that's
usually.
see, that's the thing too, is that you got to give an offering. Um, when you I think that's a good feeling when you can get the you get the you got to ask the permission from the ancestors that are in the area. And if they say, "Oh yeah, you can take these bones, but you got to leave something for them," you can leave them like a token, like a dime, or a quarter, or if you want to leave an offering like fruit, by the tree or whatever. Then whatever you're talking to is gonna eat that offering, and you take your bones. But you gotta clean them too.
I quit smoking, and I already don't drink. I'll be sober 2 years, July
Oh wow,
13th. Um,
wow,
and I don't smoke, so I can um, open up more.
Yeah.
Um,
wow. Well, I mean, how long have you been doing that? If you don't
um,
mind me asking.
I'm on my third week of not smoking. I
Is
mean,
it? I mean, I'm gonna ask you. I've never smoked, but how is it? Is it hard, or do you crave it, or like how does it feel? Did you
well,
make
I'm
did you
I'm
make
doing
that change for you?
I'm doing the vape. I'm doing the vape just when the urge gets really really strong, because I've up and just quit cold turkey before, but then I gained so much weight because then I
Yeah,
want to eat. I want to eat all the time,
yeah.
and
That is.
my blood pressure goes way up, and I'm on blood pressure medication, and I just don't want to gain all the weight, and I become diabetic. So I'm doing the vape so I don't turn to food, and hopefully that'll keep me from gaining all the weight. And I'm
Yeah,
actually losing weight too. So
yeah.
I'm hope
Yes, yes, I
I'm
can.
I'm hoping that it you know I'll not eat a bunch
Oh wow.
and gain a
Okay, I'm
bunch.
gonna ask. Okay, I'm
So
gonna ask you something. When you were before you did the vaping, did you eat a lot of meat before,
um
or kind of?
not any more than I do now. I've never been a big meat eater.
Neither have I. No, I'm just asking because I know that sometimes when you eat a lot of meats, like the fried food. I mean, not that we should eat vegetables all the time, but sometimes the meat and the chicken and all that stuff, it kind of like it closes you somehow because your body's not cleansed in the inside. So sometimes it's always good to to
Thanks, Mark.
detox your body. So so that's what I see. And I just feel that that's good that you stopped smoking because that's a bad habit. Just like drinking. People, if they drink and they can't stop and they know they have a problem, it's always good to get help. And if they can't get help because they can't afford it, I mean, it's hard, and that's why I don't discriminate anyone because you got to really love yourself and knowing that people are gonna need you just like they need me and just like they need Rosie. They're gonna need you. So just I'm
You
proud
know,
of you.
I'm so quiet and shy, and well, not so much shy anymore, but because I do this with Rosie, but and I did alien talk with Adam, and but I do get in front of this camera on my
Oh
computer,
yeah,
but people tend to look over me.
Well,
There's
someone said that you're
so
an
many.
amazing person and you should be very proud of yourself.
yep.
I know
I
I
saw
make
that.
a difference, but there are so many of us out there that they tend to look over me and go to other people. So, and I'm fine with that. There are people that are better than me, and you
Yeah,
know
yeah.
there are.
And you know what I was Yeah, and that's good because you do need that support. But for Lauren, what I was gonna tell you, I can't pronounce this word. Just dispute my words because I can't pronounce the word. This is a good deck, but I just can't read the words all the time. I don't know if you could see that, Lauren. Okay. With this card, um, for Lauren, I do feel that there's a lot of ancestors around you. For some reason, I get this kind of feeling like you need to get out more, and I keep getting the word society. For some reason, I feel like there's a lot of things that you need to start collecting because I do feel that I'm seeing like crystals around you, and I keep seeing like a circle of crystals around you. So I would say start having like amethyst and clear quartz. So I do feel that if you get that, I feel that they will come to you more because I feel like this kind of feeling I'm getting from you is like I want to talk to them more, but how do I get them to come to me? The only thing I keep seeing is more of clear quartz and amethyst. So I don't know if that resonates with you, but just go with clear quartz and amethyst. And then what you do is just put black agate or black tourmaline around you for protection to make sure that only your ancestors come through and nothing else. And then when you make that circle, just make sure that you use that. So just hopefully that makes some sense. But I do feel that you need to get in tune with crystals. I feel like crystals would help you. You quite a mind to hear your body. You will know what you need to eat to be healthy when it comes. Oh, okay, that's good. Oh, so it does resonate with you, Lauren. Wow.
I don't know why
Crazy.
when she asked that though, I saw a young boy, like a 20-year-old boy, maybe 20-ish, 21, 22, 23.
I think she's got a lot of, and you know what's crazy when she says orbs,
Mm-hmm.
I keep seeing like a greenish line kind of.
I actually feel like that person that I see has a green aura like around them. It would be
Now,
like a sun type of person, like someone that's like your son, or you look out for them, or you protect them, or you've always thought of them as a son, or maybe your son's friend that was another, male or something like that.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
brother that passed away when they were young. I don't know.
So hopefully that resonates with you. But like I said, just work with crystals, and then I feel that you need to. For some reason, I keep seeing like oracle. It doesn't matter what kind of oracle. Just see whatever. Um, she said her brother.
Hmm.
You're right, Rosie. It was her brother.
I said, or maybe a brother if it's, I'm seeing him like when they were younger, like when he's in younger form. Does that make sense?
No. And you know what's weird? I don't know where I'm getting, but I'm getting purple. I'm getting the color purple,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like I don't know if it's just the color I'm seeing or just an or like very royal color, very intuitive, very wise, and very just like an old soul that someone that really knew their stuff. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
why I'm seeing purple, but purple is a very very strong color, and and different types of magic. Um, but it depends on what you're using. I think purple is very connected to the high source. So if whoever I'm seeing purple for, that's a very strong color. Very strong color.
Purple. I just changed it. Represent the purple. It's like an intuitive spiritual color. Purple is. Yeah, I see. I don't know. I see somewhat like a younger person. Oh, a orb showed up in her room. She said, "Happy birthday
Oh
to him."
wow.
Weird orb showed up in my room. Yeah, or do you have a photo of him when he was younger? like in his 20s, maybe. I don't know. I've had people ask, not me, but like I've heard people discuss would a spirit choose to present itself as when it was younger, and I've heard of people telling um, others in the paranormal, world that like they've seen a spirit of somebody that they knew, and for some reason they saw them as presented their self when they were younger, not like when they passed away, but like what they looked like when they were younger.
Yeah, yeah, because they don't want to see you. They don't want you to see them in pain. That's
Yeah,
why they do that.
or maybe
Now,
they want
unless
you to see them at their best. Mhm.
yeah, now the only time that you will see them of age or anything that is kind of like very disturbing is usually if the person drowned or the person was murdered. Most of the time, they'll show you like how they died. That's if they know who to go to, so they know that they might not come to me or they might come to someone that can see that kind of graphic stuff. So it just depends on each spirit because if they died very horrible, like horrible, then they're gonna show you like, well, they're gonna be dripping in water or they drowned or they turned pale or stuff like that. So that's the only time that they would come to you in a very not young way. They'll come to you in the way that they died.
Usually they go back to the age when they were the happiest.
Yeah, I think that
Well,
too.
That's
I
when
think
that,
When they
that's
were
when
our
I
most
think
remember, right?
they go back to the time where they were the happiest
Sometimes I've heard
in
that too.
life.
Like especially like in residual hauntings that you'll see, like if okay, just say like in the Titanic. Say we're at the Titanic and we're looking at the Titanic, that we're going to see a bunch of younger spirits. They're not going to be very old.
I had a hair on my lip. I got lipstick on, and you don't wear it very often.
Or we're going to see them ballroom dancing or something, like because some spirit, their favorite thing might have been ballroom dancing, or their favorite thing might have been smoking a corncob pipe or something. Like you'll see them doing kind of like a lot of what they would really, in a residual, they'd really
mm,
like doing, and they could just continue doing that.
yeah, I mean that's just the way they do it. I mean, but that's just to me. I think some of them will come when they're happy, but if they something happened to them, they're not going to show themselves happy because they want justice. That's how I've seen some of them
Oh
where they'll
yeah,
come.
if someone was like violently or tragically, their death was tragic or something.
If also the spirit is talking to you, you must trust. They will be able to trust you with information they give you. Yes, they gotta trust you in order to connect to you, but they know who to go to and who they're assigned to because God or their spirit guides will guide them and say, "Well, let's go to this person because their specialty is in this category." So but it also when the person dies, I feel that whatever's behind them like a spirit guide or their loved one that's with them that say, you know what, go to this person because I know this person's good and this, and stuff like that. Especially like if, so yeah.
Yeah, or if they baked cookies, or if they played with chicken bones.
Okay, Rosie.
When Chris passes away, we're gonna smell chicken bones.
Oh my God, that
Be
that
like,
would be
you
crazy.
smell chicken bones, Chris? What are you doing? No, Chris is here. That's funny.
One other thing I would say is that if it was me, you would smell sweets because I'm a sweet person. I love sweet like candy. It's just, I don't know, it's just weird. But now that you said chicken bones and with all this
Like cookies.
stuff yeah, oh, I love cookies. Have mercy. I know we can't do it. We can't have a break in the hey, let's eat a cookie while we're doing a show. No, we won't do that because that's like teasing everyone. But yeah, I mean that's one thing I love cookies. And then it's funny that you talk about chicken because I love chicken tenders. So if you smell chicken tenders, you know it's me, Rosie.
Chicken tenders. I was thinking like chicken dumplings, like a whole big old pot of chicken dumplings.
M&M's for Chris.
M&Ms.
And
Maybe you
M
said
and
trail of
M
M&Ms.
Yes, that's the thing. See, that's the thing about you, Diane. You know that I love M&Ms, and you know I like chocolate. So you're right on about that one.
Maybe that's why one time when we investigated this one person's house, there was supposed to be a child spirit there, and I had to take out sweet tarts and give to them to get them to give me
What?
responses. When I would bring out the sweet tarts, that's when the equipment would go off. And the equipment would
Oh
sit
wow.
across the room and in other rooms of the house, but the equipment would go off.
Don't
And
sit
I'd
on the
say,
computer.
if you can make that equipment go off, I'll give you the sweet tart. I'll lay it here and you can have it. Or if you can make that go to red or make it go to yellow or whatever, then I'll give you this and you can have it.
Yeah, that is crazy because I mean sometimes you gotta you gotta tell them something that they know or something that they're connected to. So like if they like some kind of drink or say you know what why aren't you coming through? What if I leave you a soda? Then would you want to take this? Sometimes it happens that way. Sometimes you gotta give
Quick
them something
question.
in order.
Question for
Greatest.
you.
Sit on the computer.
Yep.
My cat was trying
I,
to sit on the computer.
I've had a lot of greatest adventures with helping people. I've helped a lot of missing cases. To me, I think with the missing cases, one thing I can say as being a very intuitive and medium, it's very, very touching, especially if you know the person or the family member. Um, but it does get very draining. So sometimes you need to take breaks in between because it's very too much energy that you're absorbing. So once you get involved of a missing person's case or somebody was murdered, I think to me that is a challenge in itself. But sometimes just helping people, find their loved ones or you bringing them home, if, you know, hopefully that they're alive, you can bring them home peacefully. But even if they're deceased, you still want to bring them home. But I think with helping people that are missing, that's one of the toughest things that I've always had. But there's a few times where I've brought people home, and it's not always a pleasant time. Sometimes you always bring them home when they're already deceased, or they were buried, or they were tied up, or but it varies with me. I think there's so much cases that I love to do that I can't pick anyone that's more specific that I like. I think more when I get a chance to do paranormal walkthroughs. I think that's something I love to do. That's something that I'm just like a kid at the candy store. Like so, say if example, Rosie does a show, right? And this is a good example. Rosie does a show. She goes on an investigation. She goes live, and she says, "Well, is anybody on here picking up anything? Or would you like to come in live and tell me what you pick up?" Those kind of things are the ones that will be like, you know what, Rosie, don't tell me anything. I see this person to the right. This person died down the stairs. Stuff like that. So it is a challenge.
My spirit guides probably all got gray hair.
I know, Rose.
Oh my
That
gosh.
Yeah, you know what, Diane? I think we have had some good walkthroughs. I love that kind of stuff.
They
My
might be
friends usually.
bald because they pulled out their hair. They're
It's
like, we
like,
can't
damn it,
handle
Dawn.
this girl. This girl's driving us crazy. We ain't got no hair. We got bald spots.
See, well then, if you're talking about bald, I don't have hair, so that applies to me too.
Yay.
They're probably like, damn it, Dawn, not again. What are you doing?
You know what, Diane? I'm gonna ask you a question, Diane. I know that you're on the live with us. What did you feel about the walkthroughs? Was it like a challenge for you when we did them? Did you enjoy them? And like, how did you feel like when you kind of help people? Did it make you feel good about it?
Joanne.
That is hilarious. You're asking Diana?
Yeah, I'm asking Diane.
Okay, I didn't know
If
if you were
you,
talking to Dawn. For some reason, I thought you were asking Dawn that.
I think I love doing walkthroughs. That's just something I love to do.
I do too.
You know what? Let me see.
I love the
Yeah,
walkthroughs.
I know I do. I've always.
I tell you what, I was in a secondhand store where they have booths where different people can sell different. They sell different things. People have booths set up, and I got towards the back, and where all the antiques were, there were a lot of antiques together, and I could not pinpoint which one it was, but my knees started shaking so bad.
Wow.
Where was
And
it?
What?
there
Well,
was
when was this?
this was a week ago, somewhere in Peoria. Well, I know right where it is, but where I live, and there was something in there. And I told my friend, you, because we were there getting jewelry, and I said, you watch, I'll pick the one piece that was that is,
Yeah, you
and
can message me, Lauren, too, if you want to. Just send me a message through Messenger, too.
I'm trying to figure out where she sent it to. I didn't get it on mine.
So, how was that investigation done? Was it
well, we
like
didn't we
what?
didn't we didn't investigate it, and I was gonna say something to him, but ask him if anything creepy or weird ever happened, and I didn't because there were too many people around. I didn't want to. And a lot of times, and there were older people that ran the place, and a lot of times, I live in the middle of the Bible Belt, and they'll look at me like I'm nuts. Even if something does weird happen there, they'll never admit it, especially around
Mhm.
a bunch of people.
I was going to ask you when you went there to that investigation, was there like something in the corner? I don't know why, but I'm seeing like red, like in the corner, like a red something in the corner. Was there like something red?
Oh, that was here.
It wasn't in the corner, but there was a red because they had a cafe there. It was a cafe, and it was a red table and chairs, like the kind they used to have in soda shops.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
And I even pointed that out to my friend Angie, the one I was with. I said, "Oh, look at that! Isn't that cool?" And she said, "Yeah, that's a cafe that they usually have open." And dang, Chris. And I said, "Isn't that cool?" And
Wow.
and she said, "Yeah, that's a cafe that they usually have open." And I said, and then we went around the corner, and then that's when I told her my legs are shaking.
Wow. You know what? When you say that, when about that place,
Mm-hmm.
that they have like, I don't know why I'm seeing this. This is weird. Okay, you know how like back in the old days, I don't even know, because over here they have restaurants, not like like regular chairs where they had like a big ass table. I'm seeing like a long ass like to where back in the old days when you sit to this restaurant. I don't even know why I'm seeing this. I'm seeing like one of those big ass high chairs, and it's like a round chair, but it doesn't have no back here. It's one of those antique restaurants or antique places where you could just sit back, and it's like you could see the cash register, and then in the back there's like the kitchen stuff like that. But I'm seeing like rotating chairs,
I
almost
I
like the
didn't
ones that.
I didn't pay any attention. I
Um,
just I wanted to get out of that area. I felt so uncomfortable. I felt,
wow.
how when you feel like, how we each have a light.
Mhm.
I felt like all attention was on me, even though it was
You,
daylight and there was, like whatever it was knew I was there, and
you know what? You know what's crazy when you say that?
I wanted to
I
get
don't
out
know.
of.
I feel like something when you went there, something was right behind you. Did
I
your
wanted,
hair like? Did you feel like feel fuzzy in the back of your hair?
yeah, My hair was up
Something.
that big, and I wanted to. It was. I felt like it was breathing on my neck. I wanted to get out of that area. And as I went up towards the front, it started easing off. It wanted me out of its space.
Yeah, I didn't want you there because it knew that you would call it out, and that's why I feel like you were in tune. It's just that you gotta trust yourself, and I feel that when you get those things, it's because they know that you're gifted. They know that you can pick up on them, and the fact that they not so much. Well, I can actually say that. I'm just gonna actually feel what I was told to tell you. They wanted to intimidate you and said, "Get out of here. This is my turf. You're in my
Yeah,
space."
yeah. It didn't want me. It didn't want me there. It didn't want me to ruin the good thing that it had there.
Mhm. Mhm.
And there was a
Yep.
doll there. There was a doll there that I did not like. I don't know if it, because I don't like clowns either, but there was a doll there that I did not like.
That's funny.
It wasn't
Funny.
a clown, it was a
What
doll.
did it look like? Why didn't you like it?
It was an old fashioned doll. And I looked up and it was like right there. And I kind of stepped back.
Did it have a dress?
It had, yeah, it had a dress.
I'm seeing weird dark eyes.
Mm
Did it have like colored hair?
hmm. Mm
I'm
hmm.
seeing color. Okay. Okay. Wow.
And yes, and Diana, I hate clowns. Ooh, I hate clowns.
That's the thing too.
In
That's
a
funny
humid
that you say that.
area.
That's weird you say that because
Oh my
when I you think that you don't like clowns, I don't like clowns either. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. This is when I was little. I was probably about 8, maybe 9, and my mom, like because I was all into the animals, right? Man, I screamed bloody murder. We go into store into a place where it's a Freedom Coliseum is what they call it. I go in there. There's this guy with his weird ass, and I'm gonna describe it a little bit, not too much, just a little big ass weave head, painted face, and came up to me and said, "Hey, you want a balloon?" Ah! I mean, I cried bloody murder. I'm like, and I actually got behind my mom, and my mom's like,
No.
and she goes, and then he looked at me. He had like a smile, and I just said, "Do you want a balloon?" My mom goes, "You want a balloon?" And I'm like,
That's like a no for you. Hard no, hard
"No,
pass.
hell no." I was like, "I don't want nothing from you. Get it." And then she goes, "I'm sorry. He doesn't like you." So my mom just got me, and I just walked away. And he just kept, and I kept looking back. I looked for some reason. I felt something was telling me to look back, and when I did, he just had this look like, "I know you don't like me, but I don't care." But me as being an intuitive child at that age, I was like, that's why when I see people dressed up as clowns, don't ever come me because I will literally punch you in your face if you come with a big ass wig and ugly paint. Ugh, I don't like this.
I seen a commercial somewhere, and I don't know if it was a meme on Facebook or something, but there was this there was a guy and a clown approached him and went up to somebody's house and someone kicked him in the crotch and I laughed so hard I was crying.
Where was this at?
I think it was a meme on TikTok, and now I'm like, this is the best one I ever seen.
Wow.
So
I mean,
funny.
that's just something is that there's you know what's weird, and this is what thing that I feel. I've never really like looked into it, but I don't want to look into it. But I feel that for some reason, people that are terrified of clowns, I think we have had some kind of either trauma or something that was a kind of like a past life kind of issue, or somebody that appeared as a nice person but they had this painted face. I think that's one thing about clowns. I mean, I know they're human beings, but I feel like beneath that clown, I feel like there's something, something just gives you that creepy feeling that behind that painted face, they use that face to try to get close to people. And I feel like some of them, they know that you're intuitive. They could tell right off the bat. I just get that feeling. I don't know about you, Don, but I feel like they know who who likes them and who doesn't like them. That's just what I feel.
That's funny.
I've seen that movie, It, and the only reason why
Oh,
because I went over to a friend's house. We were all getting together, and they popped that movie in, and I didn't want to be the big chicken shit that got up and left
when was this?
because I wouldn't stop talking.
Oh wow. I mean, to me, it just doesn't sit right when that shit happens to me. I'm like, you better stay away from me because I will literally punch your face. And I had a lot of friends that didn't like clowns, so I know that some of you that are back there watching the show, I know y'all didn't like clowns, and neither do I. So don't feel bad. I just don't like clowns. It's not my forte. You can keep your clown and your damn balloon away from me.
I kept talking through the whole movie, and they got mad, but I wouldn't shut up.
What about you, Rosie? Do you like clowns?
I don't have a problem with clowns, really. The only clown
No.
that's creepy is the one from It, and that's it. Like, I didn't like that one, and when I was younger, that was probably one of the scariest. Like, that was probably like, I guess if you'd want to say like a movie that left you traumatized, where you actually were scared after you watched it, that was probably one of the scariest movies because I was always afraid to sit on the toilet and take a shower after I watched that movie because I thought I was gonna bite my tushy or something, you know. But other than that clown, really, and the newer It, that one's pretty freaking creepy too. No other clowns scare me, not a real clown like in real life, or no dolls, or no like, like no, yeah, Pennywise, no, nothing else that's a clown thing
My
scares me.
cat's name is Penny. Leave her alone.
Pennywise.
But I didn't name her.
Wow. That is weird that you're talking about that doll because I know Rosie was picking up on it, but I could tell you that doll, Don, I don't know why I'm seeing a shelf. That doll, if it wanted to interact, it would actually tip over and fall, and you didn't even have to touch it. That's how creepy I feel that doll. When you brought it up, I could feel like it doesn't walk. It just went, boop, and it'll just be like, ah, like you get freaked out if it would.
Done that, I probably would have taken off out of that damn store. Ew.
I mean, for me, I'll be like, if that thing would have fell, I'm like, they would say, "You pick that up? I ain't picking that up. You pick it up."
I think I would have peed a little.
But yeah, I think it's just very interesting about with me and clowns and dolls. I don't like dolls either.
She had brown curly hair, long eyelashes, dark eyes, and like a pinkish brown dress.
Do you feel like she was possessed? Because that's what I got.
Probably, because I dreamt about her that night.
Wow, that's creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I was gonna tell you something, Rosie. I pulled a card for you, but I'm not gonna say too much. I'll just gonna tell you what the the medicine card that popped out for you is rabbit.
Really?
This right here, yeah, it popped out for you. Off the what the meanings. I'm gonna tell you what I feel with the rabbit. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the rabbit is very loving and very caring. It likes, you're just a very caring and affectionate person. But as far as what the card symbolizes, I'm gonna tell you what it represents. The rabbit and the cards and these represent fear.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let your own fears get the best of you. Just like Dawn is like her worst enemy, you could be your worst enemy.
You actually like. I thought you were gonna say I was afraid of somebody, and I was gonna be like, I ain't afraid of nobody. But you hit it on the head. Don't let your fears stop you from doing things, because I do that. I do that a lot. I don't do
Yeah.
that, but I do that.
I think that's why when I pulled that card, I was actually when y'all were talking, I said I want to see what these oracle cards got to tell me. I mean, I've done the voodoo cards with me, but man, these are nice, very very nice. I mean, I probably gotta look more into it because one of my friends said you need to do some more research, and I said yeah, I will because just like every card has its own personalities. I've always felt that too. That most people think that you using the cards don't interact with you. To me, I feel like they do interact, but they interact with you either through visions, through how they talk to you and stuff like that. So I feel that they have their own personality. So if the personality is very dominating but friendly, then they're gonna tell you straight up. And whatever the person tells you or the person you're reading, you got to give that same direct contact and say, you know what, I'm not gonna BS you, but this is what I'm being told. And there is kind of, I always feel like they're just like a human being. It's just in a card form, like even with bones, they have their own personality too. Because if you, and I'm just gonna say this for Rosie, if you get chicken bones, then you're gonna get the chicken's energy, like it's gonna because roosters tend to have that kind of fighting energy. So if they seem that if you're gonna do a reading for someone
Sometimes
and
I
they
have that
seem
energy.
well, you have that festy energy where you're
Sometimes
gonna
I have
be
that
like,
rooster energy like that. Like,
well, you have that hair sticking up, and you're like, bring it.
like that. If you mess with, I don't unless someone messes with me. If someone messes with me or if people treat me the way that I treat them, I will be the most loyal human being you've ever met. I will be so good. Like, probably no one else will be as good to you as a friend as I am. But if you poop on me or you screw me over, you better guarantee that I'm gonna do it back to you.
Don't mess with somebody she loves, because then
Yep,
you're in for it.
I
Yeah,
will.
and that's
I'm
when
from Oklahoma, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. I'm from Oklahoma. You can just figure that out on your own. The rest of what I'm trying
yeah,
to
but
say.
I do feel that like it's funny that you said with the yeah, I actually got that message line. I actually sent that. I accepted your friend request. I don't know if you noticed, but I'll check it. I'll check it later. But I did accept your request.
I looked at him, but it looked like the guy in the photo, the brother that she sent me, did look like the person I saw. But if he didn't have a mustache or something, like other than that, it looked like the person. And
Send
it is
those to
actually,
me.
huh?
Send
Send them
those
to
to
you.
me.
Okay, I'll send them to you also. It is time for us to go though, but I wanted to tell everyone we're not going to be on tomorrow night with the Drunk Turkey show because Daniel is going to be at the hospital with his wife having a baby. So they're not going to be on tomorrow night. They're going to come on next week. So we're going to reschedule the Drunk Turkey. So if you've seen that, I'll go and update it and tell you guys when it'll be rescheduled. Probably just a week from tomorrow. Same time, same day, just next week. And then they'll have a baby with them, and maybe we can get them to show us the baby.
Yay!
And
Yep.
you know what, Rosie, and thank you for having me on. I mean, I'm glad we talked. For Don, believe in yourself and just don't give up. Okay, just don't give up. Be strong.
Oh well. Thank you,
I'm gonna
Chris.
put your number on there for if anyone needs a reading or something from Chris. That's
Yeah,
his number.
that's my direct
This
number, but
Chris
don't
right
call me
here.
right. Yeah,
This
this is me right here with the.
only call him at like 3 and 4 and 5 a.m. in the morning, or two a.m. Then.
You know what? That's funny you said that because that's happened to me, Rosie. When I've done shows, I'll get like some random reading
Thank you,
hours.
Anthony. Thank you, Lord.
But
You're welcome.
thanks and thank you for the ones that did not see that number. But if you're a person that's local and you don't write things down, reach me at 210. 210-974-3470. Again, 210-974-3470. And I enjoyed the show. Thank you, Rosie. As always, much love to you.
You're welcome. Keep it creepy, everybody. See you next week.
Thank you for coming.
And I'll probably see you tomorrow with To the Grave and Back. Tomorrow at 3 with Central Standard